Hello and welcome back to Fantabulous Bags, where we do product development sketches for handbags and other accessories. So today actually we are going to be working on this guy that we did a while back. Been a little bit busy with the kitties, but okay, seems that we're back. So it is a camera bag, and I'm going to plop down our sketch that we did last time here, which was like a few weeks ago. And it's pretty much a nylon bag with nylon trim. Everything's nylon and plastic. And there's just a tiny little leather trim over here. Everything else, nylon webbing, nylon cordura, and nylon mesh. Okay, so let's go to it. As you can see, it's a gray and black bag, as these usually are. They're not usually very colorful, but you might in your travels have to do something like this. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, so we have our gray tone here. Let's see what we can get. Sometimes you can do a nice sampling, and then we'll throw on top of it some kind of texture. So let's see, let's grab our little eyedropper tool. Ooh, came out blue. That's not exactly what I was hoping for. I think that's too dark. It's not looking like it's doing good sampling. Now it's purple. All right, when you're having this problem, it's better to just go with their gray tones. I think I want to put a little bit of blue in there, just a teensy bit. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, let's see how that, yeah, that's not bad. But it isn't the color I'd like. Let's try again. Let's go, and definitely not magenta, maybe a little yellow. Play around with it until you get something that you're satisfied with. And I think it needs to be a little bit lighter. Okay. Still not good. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Maybe kill the yellow and make it a touch lighter, even a touch bluer, but I don't want it to get too blue. All right, let's try it. All right, that's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's pick all our gray spots, and we'll hit the shift button and just grab and grab and grab, and then we will grab back here and boom. Okay, that's looking not too bad. So I'm gonna go here, gonna toggle back here, and oh, this thing doesn't want to do it. All right, so let's zoom in. Getting all the spots that need gray. Boom, boom. Okay, so now let's pull back. Okay. So what we're dealing with here is like a monotonous color. It's mostly going to be dark black and gray, and then we have to figure out how to add different tonalities to it to achieve what we want to do, which is to show all the different textures. Okay, so next up is the rest of the bag is really black, but we can't do a black because it's just going to look, you're not going to see any details at all. So I'm going to grab a lot of these spots. I'm going to just use the body materials first. The webbing, I'm going to try something else on. This panel on the side actually is, let me see. Actually, I'm not going to touch this here. Is actually a mesh. So I'm going to try to get it, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I have to zoom in because some of these spots are on the small side and the mouse isn't picking them up. So, all right. So once we get all of our colors, all of our spots that we know are nylon. Oops, that's not gonna work. And here and this here, and then also the bindings and the pipings. These are called bindings and pipings. The wide one is called the binding. It goes around the edge of a flap, for example. And the piping is this skinny little guy that has an insert usually. So you want to make sure you do that, okay? Okay, so we got everybody. We might even want to get into these little zipper holes. I don't know if we'll be able to because we might have to zoom in more. Let's zoom in more. We're going to get every spot that's supposed to be black. And we're going to use, okay, let's zoom out again. I think we got everything. We're going to use a very dark gray and see how that looks. Okay, I think it's gray enough. Now under here, we're going to have to use a black because it has to recess. So this little spot here, which of course I can't grab because it's too small, gonna just go up here and I'm going to hit a very dark black. There you go. Okay, so the rest of this, all these patches that I haven't touched yet are webbing. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but oh, this one here. I might actually go with this black or a darker black, well, a darker gray rather, and then put another texture on it. Okay, so now we have all the spots that we want that are done in the Cordura nylon. So now what we want to do is find some kind of weave pattern to throw on top of it, because that's the really only interest this bag has, is that you can see the weave. Right now it looks very flat. So let's go into our swatch library and look for patterns and see what we have. We have graphics and decorative in nature. Obviously it's going to be graphics, and see what we have. Lines and textures. Let's try, let's see what the textures are first. Okay, so we got some dotty little things here. I'm looking for something, let's see what that looks like. Burlap, perfect. Okay, that might work. Or something a little more technical like a vineyard. All right, whatever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some experimentation. I'm going to go back in at a 200%. I think I'm going to do the gray and the black with the same. So I'm just going to grab the larger one, the larger panels, which are obvious. You might not even need to do the smaller panels because they're not really going to show up. So I'm just grabbing every single one. I'm not going to try to do the... Should I try the piping? What do you guys think? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to grab this one too because it's a really big... Okay. Now I've grabbed as much as I can grab, I think. Oh, the piping, the binding too, because the binding is fairly large. Did I do the piping? All right, whatever. Okay, we got it. We're done. Okay, good. We got our pipings. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say copy paste. Now I have everybody duplicated. Now I'm going to throw in our texture that we decided on. Actually, that's not that bad. Let me see this one. What's this? Sewage? No, that's gonna be good for the webbing, but not for this. Let's try the vineyard again. Do I like it that much? It's gonna look more techy if we do the vineyard. Let's see the burlap. The burlap is not bad either. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is the first thing I'm gonna say object, group. I'm gonna group all these texture maps together, and I'm going to lower them down onto the spot where they're supposed to be. Okay, I see I missed one side, that's okay. We can do that after. What do we think? I think actually it doesn't look bad, but I think the texture is first too bold and too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my scale tool, and I'm going to say transform patterns only. So I'm clicking off transfer objects. Uniform 36%. Maybe that's too small. Let's go down like 20%. We'll go to 80% and see what that looks like. Okay, not bad. Let me go back. I'm gonna recess myself and go to 100%. I'm not that. Let me try a little bit smaller even. Actually, let's just go with this one and see what happens. Actually, I think I like this better. It looks more techy, even though it doesn't really look exactly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to change the opacity on it and see if that does anything. A little bit lighter. Now it looks like it's a grid. I don't know. Let me try to go back to the burlap. Uh, 52%. Capsules? What the heck? No, that's weird. What's this? Concentric circles? No. No. What's this? Bird feet? No. All right, so going back to the burlap, I'm going to go opacity even a little bit more. I'm going down to 36 something. Okay. And I'm going to say yes. Okay, and now I think I'm okay with that. I'm going to just make it a teensy bit smaller. I'm going to go down another 20% and say okay. Okay, now I'm happy. Now it looks good. It looks good enough for me anyway. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to work on the webbing and the other stuff, the zippers and this plastic thingamajig. I have one spot that I'm going to need to do that somehow escaped me. So here, I'm going to take this. This binding needs it too. So I'm going to say copy, paste, and then I'm going to just use my little thing here and grab that. Okay. And now for some reason it went back up to 100%, which is not what I want, but I'm going to go down again. What is it, 30 something percent? Okay, very good. So I'm going to grab this little puppy over here and, no. Going to move him back to where he belongs. So now everybody has their texture, the body panels. Now we're going to work, let's work on the mesh. Okay, so the mesh looks like a kind of a cheesy nylon mesh. That's fine. So let's grab this, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. I'm gonna grab there. Okay, this is not good enough. I'm gonna have to go in a little bit. Okay, there. Okay, so now I'm going to back out, and I'm going to say copy. Actually, not yet. Control C. Oh, see, sometimes these things happen. All right. Okay, let me go back there. And, okay, so let's do this again. I'm going to grab and there. Okay, so now I'm going to try, should I try the dark one? Should I go darker? I guess that's okay, but now I need to find a mesh grid. So let's see what we got here. We got capsules. We got sticks. Nah, it has to be something like the vineyard, but backwards. What's this? Land, marsh, scrub? No. None of these look right. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going back to my swatch library, and I'm going to go back into the patterns, and I'm going to try graphic patterns. We did textures. Let's try lines. And maybe dots. The lines don't look good. Let's try the dots. That might work, especially if we can do something funky with it. Let me see. Patterns, graphics. Let's do dots. Dots. Okay, that might work. That might work. Let's see what that is. That is like, what's that called? Oh, nah. But, what's this? Oh, that's weird. That might work. Let me see this. Ah, okay, now we're cooking with oil. Okay, what's this? Nah. I think I'm going to do this weird one. And, okay, so first let's go back to our dark gray. And now we're going to say copy, paste. So now we have a copy of this. I'm going to move it away so we can see. I'm going to say group so that I don't lose any of the pieces. I'm going to group it. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring it down a lot. So I'm going to say, I don't know, 20. I'm going to go down like 80% and see how small that looks. Oh, you see what happens is that you need to make sure that you're only doing the pattern and not the object. And see what happens. You see this one better. Okay, let's go down a little bit more on that one. Let's go down till like 90%. See how weird that looks. Ah, okay, now we got a mesh. I think 90% was a little too much. Let's go down. Let's go down 70%. I think that works better. Okay, let's put that on. Stick it on there. Okay, so now we have our mesh. Let's just make sure we're happy with it. No. Let's try this one. That might work too. Now let's try the little bit one. You know what? Let's do that one. All right, before we say anything else, let's just go back a little bit. See, that, when you're at 100%, it doesn't look the same. So you want to make sure that you're getting something that's bold enough that's going to read at the proper distance. Okay, I think that works. But I want to try to play with the opacity again. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, so now we're going to do the zippers. They're just going to be the gray, but they're going to be flat. They're not having any texture because usually zipper tape is pretty boring. So we're going to go in, going to grab the zipper tapes, all of them, and we're just going to do our base gray color. No texture at all. Okay, very good. Okay, oh, we forgot a spot here. Look at that. It's like copy, paste, and then we're going to do there. Oh, I'm going to put him back over there. You want to make sure that your details are in. Okay, so there. And the opacity on that is going to be, it was like 20 something. All right, whatever it was. Okay, so now we can do two things. Let's try doing the plastic stuff. The plastic stuff is the zippers. Oh, zippers and everything else. All the hardware is plastic, surprisingly. The zipper heads and the, okay, this toggle thingy is also plastic. And let me go back a little bit. Let's see how we're doing. And this, of course. Okay, dog clip, of course. Everything is plastic. Okay, I'm a little creeped out with like plastic hardware because I'm afraid it's always going to break. That's my biggest fear. It's going to break. Okay. The zippers are actually just, they look like plastic, but they're coated. They're metal. Plastic zipper heads are terrible. Okay, here. This little bead thing also is plastic. Okay, so I think we got all of our plastic in. Oh, I missed a spot here and I missed a spot here. Okay, so now we are going to go back into our swatch library and we're going to look for gradients. And I'm going to go with like, I guess stone. Let's see. We want some nice dark colors. That doesn't look that great. Let me go to fades. Fades has actually a lot of nice dark fades, but you have to, there, let's see, fades. Okay, so let's just hit the darkest fade that we can. That looks nice and plasticky. I'm gonna try to make, let's see the radial. No, I'll reverse the radial. No, I think we should just go back to what it was. Okay, very good. But I want to reverse it. I want the light to be coming from the other angle. So I just reversed it. Okay. So now we have our plastic. Very nice indeed. If you missed any spots, just grab them. Grab them, grab them, grab them. And color them in because you're going to need to. Okay. We're going to do the same thing we did before. Just boom. Okay, so now we have our plastic hardware. Here it had like some kind of logo, which I'm not going to put, of course, but I am going to add, it looks like it should have had a stitch on it. Yeah, it had a stitch that I missed somehow, so let's just do that. I'm going to add a stitch line here. Okay. Not the best. Okay, let me just go down a little bit. Okay, oops. All right. I don't remember what brand this was anyway. Okay, that didn't work. All right, so now I have this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of the middle part. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to make a black line. And I'm going to do stroke. I'm going to just do that. And I'm going to do a dash. All right, there. So now we have our little, if you forget to do something, you can always do that. I think, however, what I want to do is I want to, no. I want to take this particular one and I'm going to try to make it a radial because, no, because it's kind of rounded, so it might be radial in reality. Okay, so that's pretty strange looking. Let's see if we can get it to look a little bit less. It doesn't look that good. All right, I guess we'll have to go back to what it was. Okay. There. Okay, so we're good. Now we're going to work on these guys over here. I think these little cords actually have a texture, but I'm not going to bother with it because it's just such a small detail. And it's not going to show. The webbing is going to actually be on everything else. So I'm just going to go to a dark color. Actually, let's do black. No, that looks too black. Let's go back here. And I'm going to actually make it a little bit darker than the rest, just to make it stand out. Okay, so there. I missed this spot here and this spot here. Do the same thing. Okay, so we're moving right along. Okay, so now we're on to our webbing. We'll see if we do shadows on this because it has so much texture in it. It's just amazing. But let's see. Okay. So, oh, again, I missed the spot. Okay. There. Okay, so now we're going to go and our direct select tool, and we're grabbing all of our colors webbing here. Okay, let's grab the webbings, all the little bits of webbing. And that one, we're going to probably use that line. And the spot here also needs it. We're going to use that line texture that we saw. And then we're going to use a totally different texture for the leather, the one tiny little bit of leather it has there. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to do this, the under part here. Okay, this is webbing and that is webbing. Okay, so let's do our favorite gray color. Fine. And let's do... let's see, over here, basic lines, no, dots, basic lines. Let's see, what's that? Oh, okay, no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say copy, paste. I got everybody. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to group them. And I'm going to find a nice, I don't know, is this a grid? No. Actually, that might have been better for, let's see this. That looks interesting. That also looks interesting. Okay, so let's zoom out and plop these guys down where they're supposed to go. So let's go and put them down. And now we're going to play with sizing. Okay, so, all right, I'm not totally crazy about it, but let's go back. I think we need a little bit more like that or like that. No, maybe like that. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to go back to our, there. I missed a spot here, but that's okay. I'm going to transform the pattern again, and I'm going down 70% seeing. Okay, so there, much better. Now we have our textured webbing. Okay, very good. I missed this spot, which is, oops, I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to go in here, zoom in, do the same exact thing I did before, dark, and then I'm going to copy paste, and then I'm going to grab some here, this there, and I'm going to put it back. Now, because I'm zoomed in, I can see how much I missed out here. Oh, let me move this in a smidge so that it fits into its spot. There. Okay, so now the only thing we are lacking is in texture is the, what is it? The leather part. So let me go to our direct select tool again. And we're going to color it in dark gray as we have done already many times. And I'm going to say copy paste. Now I'm going to go back to the texture maps that we saw that were kind of cool. We're going to look for something that might be construed as leather. Sticks, no. Sand, no. What's this? Nah. Nope. Hatching. I can't even see what I'm looking at. Let me just pull this over here. Oh, nah. That's too basic. No. 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 Nah. What's this? The burlap is not going to do it. Capsules, believe it or not, might. Ah! Mezzotint, mesotint, whatever that is. I think I like the mesotint. Let me see what else we got here. Random, these. Squiggly lines, sand. No. Sticks, we said no. 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 Sand. More sand. More sand. No, that's stripes. Oh, okay. I think I like the intricate surface better. No. 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 Okay, so let's just go to the intricate surface. I think it was this one. Okay, so let's plop that on here. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, that's not bad, but I think what we can do is just go down on the opacity a little bit and a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it larger. I am actually going to go to 130% or 140%, and I'm going to transform the pattern. There, now that looks a little bit more leathery. I'm going to also, you could actually try to find the leather, go shopping and find the leather texture, which is another thing you could try. But we're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to make it lighter because I think that's going to help. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay, so now we have our camera bag, and you can actually leave it this way and say, I'm done, I'm tired of doing this, it's fine. Or you can say, let's add some shadows, which is nice too. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some shadows to be a pain in the neck. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this here. This is going to need a shadow, so I'm just going to say copy, paste, and I'm just going to go to our black, which is way too dark, and then I'm going to get it like there. I'm just adding a layer of dark to that spot. Why is this not moving? Okay, there. Okay, so I'm putting it back. There. So now you see there's like a shadow in there. Being that this is so dark already, I don't want to like make it much darker. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pen tool and I'm going to like make some fat lines everywhere. So here I'm just going to go here and here and here and here. And now I've made a line. Now, it doesn't need to be filled, so we're getting rid of the fill. We're just going to concentrate on the stroke. I'm going to go to really a wide stroke. Let's do like 10, 9, 10, something crazy. Oh, 16. Okay, so now somehow I wound up with this, which is kind of interesting anyway. What I'm going to do is just go to the black, and I'm going to go to the stroke feature again, and I'm going to just make it rounded at the edges. Now it's like really aggressively dark. What I want to do now is I'm going to go back to the opacity and just make it a shadow, make it light. There. So now you see we have a little bit of a shadow under the flap and to the side of the hardware detail. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the same exact thing here under the flap. What we're trying to do is just make some details. Okay, oh. Okay, so now I'm going to move this up. Okay, let me just go back here. And I'm just going to grab this again. Direct select tool. I'm just going to grab him, that one spot, and I'm just going to go up like that. Do, 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 do. Okay, so the same thing I'm doing like I did before. Okay, so again, opacity is going down to 50% or something like that. Okay, so now we have shadows. Now you're going to say, hey, what about all this stuff? So you can definitely add shadows here too. So like in this spot, let's do some shadows. Okay, let's do some shadows again. I'm going to do under the hardware and around the pocket. So let's do a line here of shadow. Ooh, that didn't work too well. All right, let's do like, we really don't need that much here, but let's do it around this area. So I'm going to just go here. Okay, there. So now I'm just going to move things around. Okay. Okay, and again, I'm going to go down my opacity, whatever it is, a little bit more, and there. So you now have a little bit of shadow there. I think I want to add a little spot here. Let's just do that. Okay. So it goes around. It doesn't look weird. Okay. All right. Okay, so now I think we just need to add a little bit under here, and then we're done. Let's go for it. Okay. Okay. We're adding to these kind of like, I got a little bit of a, ooh. So again, we're going back to stroke. We're refining the strokes. And we are going back to our opacities. And we're going to go down even more. Whoa. I think we're going to go down a little bit more because it's, okay. Okay. Oh. Okay, so wherever I messed up and I didn't put the spot where it's supposed to be, I'll move it up a touch. Okay, so now we have our completed camera bag. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this class, and we'll be working on some other stuff next week, and see you around. Thank you, and bye.